There we go. We are now live. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Good afternoon, Carthor. Good afternoon, James. Good afternoon, anybody, body. Hello. I think I am live. I just need to check because for some unknown reason, my phone's ringing. Not getting that. Yeah, for someone. Oh, there we are. We are live. Good afternoon. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is doing super well. Just getting a couple of bits and bobs sorted out. Morning. No, let me start this again. Good afternoon, Carthor. Good afternoon, James. Good afternoon, Chill. Hello. There was something I wanted to ask, Chill. There was something I was going to ask you when I got you on stream, and I thought I need to ask you that. Now, what was it? I cannot remember. Did I put it in my diary? There was something I wanted to say to Chill, and I cannot remember for life for me now. No, I can't remember for life of me. Oh my God. Oh, it's going to bug me. Now, oh, what were they? It's your birthday. We're going to party like it's Chill's birthday. It's Chill's birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. I think it's your birthday. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember. Is it your birthday? Chill, is it your birthday? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. There was something, and that was at the back of my mind. Today, happy birthday to Chill and relax. Happy birthday to Chill and relax. Happy birthday, dear Chill and relax. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Happy birthday, Chill. Have a good one, mate. Have a good one, pal. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a tremendously good day. Have a tremendous day. Happy birthday. I knew there was something. Happy birthday, Chill. Happy birthday. So, guys, I thought I've just got back. I've been at a funeral this morning. So I have just got back and I needed to carry on with getting some work done. So I thought I would just get a couple of streams done, or get a stream done, should I say, to finish this computer off. What we started at the weekend. I don't know if anyone remembers. I started this one at the weekend. This is the one which had been done by a local computer repair company, and they'd made an absolute hash of it. Thermal paste all over. They've knackered the RAM slots. They've bent the brand new cooler. I had a really long conversation with the customer yesterday. She's managed to get her money back for the work on this machine from the original builder. So I have explained that he's damaged the motherboard, he's damaged the CPU, he's damaged possibly the CPU as well. He's damaged the SSD, he's damaged all the cooler. About everything is damaged, and he basically said to her it was built right, and how he justified when she said to me, she says, you've even got thermal paste between the on the CPU, what do they call it, the mount where you plug the CPU in, underneath the CPU, and he went, well, that won't cause a problem because it's non-conductive. If he thinks that is a defence to why he's done such shoddy, abysmal work, he should never operate on a computer ever again. Because for a start, it shouldn't be there. He's right, it's non-conductive, but it could act as an insulator and stop things connected. But if he thinks that is an adequate excuse, it won't stop it working for the absolute abysmal, atrocious sugar work that he had done. He's got something seriously wrong. But anyway, we will see how that goes. 1, 2, 5 mins. Okay. Crazy. Are you going to install Linux on it? Strawberry Kitten, good afternoon. I am not going to install on this one. No, I have got a laptop up there. What we're going to be putting Linux on through customers' request. So we're going to be putting it on a laptop. to get that done. But yeah, if anybody didn't see the stream I did on Saturday morning, please check it out. You will not believe a professional PC builder built this PC. Unbelievable. Yeah, check the VOD out what I did on Saturday. I would reckon Kubuntu. Is that have you just put an extra K on there, or is there one called? Because I've heard of Ubuntu. No, I've not heard of Kubuntu. Is that a different one? The customer wants Mint, Linux Mint on the one that which I've got to put Linux on from. Now it does ask the question if I'm putting Ubuntu. Oh, with KDE is it? All right, okay. That explains that. Yeah, they've asked for Mint. My concern is if they've asked for Mint and they don't know how to install it, are they the right person to run Linux? But I suppose it's a lot more user friendly than it is. They just want to get away from Microsoft, in fairness. So yeah, good on them. You use Kubuntu too. I don't use one as a daily driver on any of my systems. I have a memory stick, and that has got, I don't know, 10 different Linux operating systems on, and different installs and live systems on there as well. Yeah, I'm hoping it's a relatively new laptop. It's oh dear me. It's this one here. It's an HP. It's not mega old. It's, I don't know, 5-6 year old, something like that. So I'm hoping that I can get it running on there to the best of my ability. I did explain that it might be tricky just to a couple of hardware things, but I think majority of them, as long as graphics works, sound works, and Wi-Fi works, most people will be okay if memory card reader doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? If it's one of those, but I think most of it generic stuff. Linux is so good, as you all guys know. Linux is just so reliable nowadays, and easier than ever to certainly on one of the popular builds to actually get going and work. It does make it so much easier. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, that's just an install on there. So hopefully we'll get that. But what we're going to do on this one, I'm just going to fit a hard drive in here for this young lady, for her son. This one will need Windows 11 installing because that's what these have asked for. But I'm not going to install Windows on stream because it's just a little bit boring, that bit. So we'll get the hard drive installed, and then I'm going to move on to there's a couple of diagnostics. There's a laptop which has got an issue with Wi-Fi. That might be a 2-second job. It might be a little bit longer. That's sat up on the shelf up there. I think it is. You can't quite see it on camera. That one's going to be looked at. We've got another laptop just there that needs a hard drive putting in, and a data recovery which is sat on top of it. So I might do a bit of data recovery. And then in the other room I've got another five desktops to do. One of them is a diagnostic, so we're going to be doing that one as well, just to see where we go with the diagnostics and see what's what with it. Let's have a look. I've been on Linux since 2007. I think, do you know when you make the switch? There's no reason to go back if it's working. And certainly Linux of today, 20 years on from you, Strawberry, is a hell of a lot better than it was then. You can use it as a daily driver now. I started using Ubuntu 8.04, can't remember the year, but it's my main system since 2015. Yeah, I want to do a live Linux install stream. You want to do a live Linux install stream? Are you a streamer, Strawberry? I'll have to subscribe to you if you are. I've installed Linux quite a few times in different guises. Never done one on stream though. Trying to think. No, I've never done one. For me, the only real difference is that the games work nowadays. Thanks to Valve. Yeah. It's I'm not a gamer, so certainly for the stuff I do, it might be useful. On my system down here, which is where it is. I might do that. Might do a live Linux install. Yeah, I mean, it's more like Windows. I've not tried a Zorin OS. Is that a Windows clone? That one, James? Steam was able to get me back to games again. Yeah, I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer, guys. I've got a gaming system upstairs, and I mentioned this several times on stream. And only game I've got on it is I'll try and do this, but Formula One. It's a driving simulator rig I've got. I did have what's that? I can't remember what it's called now. That other racing game. No, can't remember for the life of me now. iRacing. But I only bought that for 1 year because it's just so expensive, and I found I weren't using it. And to be honest, I'm a more simcade rather than a simulator player, and I'm into F1, so F1 was my thing. But yeah, I might look at doing a Linux stream because they are so versatile. Plus, I suppose I could always, if I've got the right people in chat, because I'm not a command line person in any way, shape, or form, get some assistance from people in chat when I undoubtedly hit some snags. But the distros are so good, you probably just put it on as well as you put Windows on. Yes, you can choose Windows / Apple layout. Oh, I have seen that one. I have seen that one where you can choose how you want it to look. Be cool to install Steam OS on a gaming machine, see how it runs. Yeah. Is that Steam OS actually available for x86 platform though? Yeah, I probably won't need command line. You're right, because it's so versatile now, isn't it, to do? It's so easy, and they're making it more and more. Well, they've had to appeal to masses, aren't they, rather than the enthusiast, as it was always kind of tagged for. I think I put my first Linux install back in. Wow, what year would it have been? Early 2000s. I'm thinking it was then, early 2000 when I first started with Linux. But I went through several Ubuntu's when they were out. I won't use SteamOS on a non-handheld. It's not made for desktops. Aren't they bringing a desktop version out though? I use command line in Linux these days, doing data recovery. Everything else no longer need it using command. Yeah, that's the good thing, isn't it? I think I put it on at the time. I mentioned this as well when I was doing war driving or other activities which needed a Linux environment. I've used Tails quite a bit as well on systems, but I tend to use more live versions so I can diagnose systems. Certainly on older systems, because it just tends to be a lot more forgiving with older hardware than trying to run Windows PE or something like that. And because it is all point and click now, it's so much better. It's best to use proper old boring desktop distro like Kubuntu. I'm going to look into that. I'd stay away from the trendy new gaming distros. Yeah, I think as everyday drivers, I think you're better with that, as long as it's still a supported one. My server runs on. I changed it over a couple of years ago. Oh God, I can't remember what I run my server on now. And I have a network firewall as well that runs on a small box, and I can't remember what distro that's on either. That will come back to me what I've got that configured for. So I've got a couple upstairs in my gaming room as such, or in my server room, what I call it, because that's where my gaming rig is as well, which are sat up there because it's the easiest place. But yeah, one runs my entire network for my firewall, and one runs, I can't remember what it's called either, and I log into it quite often. That's going to really annoy me if I can't remember what it's called. It is called, because I've got it saved as a favourite, PFSense, which I know is not exactly a usable Linux distro, but it is based on Linux, isn't it? I don't know which one it's based on, but yeah, PFSense runs my firewall and whatnot, and my VPN and so on. Not that I use it anything in depth, but nice little small, very small form factor, about the same size as a couple of packs of cards, a couple of packets of cigarettes. That little box is. It is based on Ubuntu. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Kawasaki. It's based on. I think a lot of them are forks from others anyway, aren't they? To find their own feet, which in some ways is nice because it gives it a bit better. It's even stripped screws on back. It gives you a bit better knowledge across all platforms if you do want to move to another distro rather than having to kind of learn things again and again. Plus, they're tailored more for individual needs then, aren't they? With the way they do it all. You can, this desktop isn't the lightest desktop to manoeuvre and get about. So yeah, you can start once you've got into it, you can start. Oh damn! Drop me. Let me guess, not magnetic. Is it magnetic? Am I going to be able to pull it out? No. Let me magnetise my screwdriver. No, demagnetise it. Now. See if I can get my finger down. You can switch distros in like 30 minutes. Yeah, I think that's the beauty about it as well, isn't it? You can because most of them are freely accessible, you can download several. That's what I've got on my memory stick is several distros. But as I say, they're more for tools rather than anything else, just so I can boot into a working OS. Can't believe I've gone and dropped that down there. What a nugget I am. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. I've gone and dropped the whatchamacallit straight down there, haven't I? The shield for the it's caught under heatsink now. Oh, I'm gonna have to take the pliers out. I'll get that out. Oh, I can't get that out. Sorry, I'm concentrating here, gents, so I can't see chat whilst I'm doing this. I'll have to set CPU out at this rate. I think it's caught on the. There you go, it's come out now. Caught on there. Just got to install a new distro and some programs. Yeah, you can image it as well, can't you? So you can just transfer it from an image. On my server before I moved, I had different live images, so I could just load different OSs from my network rather than having to install, and they were pre-configured because I'd backed it as an image and I used a virtual machine to do it, so I could just load the image already loaded with everything on there directly from the server. Should be more plug and play. Yeah. I just wish Garmin Bike Computer worked with Linux. I run virtual machines just for that. It's a pain in it when one thing that you want to use won't work with what you've got as well. I'm trying to think what I had that with. I can't remember. There was something I needed. I usually find it the other way around. Tools I want on Windows, I need to use on Linux because they don't make a Windows equivalent. I use Windows 90% at the time, 95% at the time. So it's rare that I go into others. So I'm definitely not a big one for that. I think computers should be more plug and play. Ubuntu is easy update, I've heard. Strawberry Kitten has deleted all his messages. I wonder why that is. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what you mean by more plug and play, because they are pretty darn plug and playable, I would have thought. I actually set up a Windows XP machine the other day. and certainly not as easy as I seem to remember. A digital hygiene, oh, is that what it is? Non-traceable, names have been changed, protect the innocent. Yeah, I set a Windows XP machine up the other day, and that was touted as plug and play. I mean, Windows 98 was, wasn't it? That was the great thing, plug and play, plug and play, plug and play. And I know some people in chat at the time were saying, "Oh, it's brilliant. Is Windows XP? You know, it's this, it's that." All I can say, by the time I'd finished trying to get a driver, I know we're 25 years out of date on it, but by the time I'd trying to finish getting a driver for the graphics card, and I can't remember what else I had to get a driver for, I was so thankful for Windows 10 and Windows 11, and I despise Windows 11 with a passion. Do not like it. Okay, let me just get this one down. 2 tickles. I'll get this one. What's this one? 2 here. This one is... Oh, that's another one as well, what we need to look at. That's another diagnostic, so we'll do that afterwards. That one has a... Not too sure whether it's... Why did I set a timer? Oh, that's my breakfast. I didn't eat my breakfast yet. Still not even my breakfast. Breakfast in microwave. This has got a screen issue. I think it might be the circuit board in the screen itself. So I might need to do a bit of micro soldering on the under microscope on the screen. It looks like it's got a loose connector. So we will attempt maybe a screen repair of the actual screen itself on that one. So we'll see how it goes. Okie dokie. Right, this one has got a Wi-Fi issue. So I can't say this one's going to be an amazing thing to do, but it is just the next thing on my list, and then we will move on to maybe something else. So I'll look at this. Bit of an older one here. Need to put a bit of tape over something, and I've lost. How can you just put tape down and then lose it within seconds? So, who in chat actually uses Linux as a daily driver? I know Strawberry Kitten said he did, and Edinburgh did. Is anybody else who uses it as a daily driver? And do you feel like you lack or miss anything? I know there's a lot of benefits, but it's a bit. I always think Linux people are a bit like Apple people. Once you've converted, you probably wouldn't go back to Windows. I quite like Windows, so I'm not going to diss it in any way, shape, or form to that. I quite like Windows. And I think they've got an uphill task to try and make it as usable as they possibly can. I do not envy the Microsoft engineers for all the slating they get. I think they do a pretty darn good job at getting it right. Get a lot of things wrong, but you think how many computers that Windows is actually installed on. Chill users Mint and Windows on dual boot. Used to had no issues. So there's at least 4 of you in chat who use it as a daily driver. Yeah. I know it's a misconception that it's more secure. I was watching one of the security blogs, and what they were saying was it's more secure in some respects because of the way it gets distributed, that you can see the source code and everything else, but because people realise that there's people on it who think it is really secure, so don't have any extra precautions, they get attacked more than a Windows machine, or there's more targeted attacks, they were saying. So for the uninitiated, you could well be in a position where you're more vulnerable. I find Windows fine, just in Linux. Put me this back. Oh, smooth. That all switched me over. Yeah. Again, it's once you're used to it. I'm going to put this password in, gentlemen. I just need to move it off screen for obvious reasons, so I'll just put face cam on while I type this in. Okay, right, we are in here, so we'll get that down to. If there's nothing too major on the desktop, please wait for local session manager. That's not good on Windows 10, is it? That sounds like it can't load the user data profile. So I think this might be a bit more than an issue with Wi-Fi. That might just be a little bit more than an issue with young Wi-Fi on there. Just swapping this over so I can see what I'm doing. It's just still loading, so it means it is a little bit slow and sluggish, as we can see. I honestly don't think this will project to OBS, but we will give it a shot if there's nothing too personal on the screen, if it's just generic programs. Been on Linux for more than 15 years. I pull my hair out every time I have to do something on Windows. Most distros are unmountable now, I believe, so a lot safer from attackers or user error. Yeah. Right, just let me see if there's anything on here which is going to identify. There doesn't seem to be any personal information, so we'll try and get this one on here. Let me just plug up my HDMI cable and see if we can get a picture on the screen. We have picture. If we do, it will. And flip that over to there. Microscope. We have picture. Right, we've got a picture there. Right, there's nothing on here which will really show off too much. I'm just going to check the because customers complained it has got a problem with Wi-Fi. It's only got 2.4, obviously, so we will try and connect to that Wi-Fi just there, which is that password just there, and let's see if we can connect. If we've spotted on here what I think the problem may be, which is I think this will be the culprit, but that looks like it's connecting. That's connected. That has connected. Yeah, no idea what I typed there. We'll just see if we can quickly go away. We don't want to go in there. Why is my start menu come up? Why is my start menu come up? Start menu, go away. Start menu, go away. Yeah, it's not well, this computer. Mostly sure, yeah. There's only some never marginal distros. I see the point, but doesn't fit all use cases. Personally, I'd just make my life more difficult. Oh, employee cost calculator. Did I just type that in, or did that? I just typed something random and that came up. Calculating higher cost and remote. I'm wondering whether this guy has got a virus. Didn't like how that had come up. Let's even get to Google. Gosh, it's slow. Google. Is it running more than one antivirus? I don't know. I think it might be running Norton and McAfee. I honestly think it is running 2 antiviruses, because sat down near the clock we have you are unprotected by Norton. I mean, even if it was fully paid up, you'd still be unprotected. And McAfee, even if it's installed, you're unprotected. So, and also Windows Defender's got a tick in it. So there we go. We're running all sorts here, aren't we? B Morgan, hello, good afternoon. Is it running more than one device? Yeah, it looks like it might be running 3 antiviruses. And is that another one there? Don't know. It's running that slow and sluggish. Just see what spec it is, because clearly it's not. Oh, sugar. Oh my God. Whew. Sorry about that. A little bit of poo came out there. Oh, you probably didn't hear that. That was incredibly noisy. That just that just startled me. That just startled me there, guys. Yeah, 8 Hogs Resources, that rapport manager, isn't it? Hogs Resource. Sorry, I've got a oh, got my Aikido training sword, if anybody knows what Aikido is. But I've got my Aikido training sword here, which I keep near the front door for walking the dog, obviously. Yeah, that was Les stood behind me, just in the doorway window here, and it fell over. I ain't got a clue how it fell over, but it's fallen over and just made me, just startled me a little bit. Do you know when you're not expecting any noise at all? That startled me just a tad. Oh, just a tad. Oh, IBM security thing. There's nothing on that. Oh, it's just doing its business, isn't it? I mean, I haven't pressed anything here, and it's still doing that. I would suggest there's going to be a few things in there. Yeah. It definitely scared me, Chris. Weren't expecting any noise behind me. And I know doors are shut, so dog's in the living room. Yep, still a thing. 15-year-old laptop, mechanical hard drive, running mono Windows, bunch of useless stuff on startup. Of course, it's going to be goddamn awful. You are absolutely spot on. You've hit nail on the head there. It's an i5. It was designed for Windows 7, which I know you can't see on there, but there's a Windows 7 sticker on it, so it's clearly updated to 10. So, no active subscription. Norton will still be sat there slowing your computer down, so you think you've got a virus, which you have. It's called Norton. That's the type of virus that you've got. And let's see what it's got. Look at CPU at 100%. In fairness, 1% on disk usage. Not too bad. And he's got an SSD. He's got an SSD. Didn't see that coming. I wonder who's putting that in. 8 gig of RAM. Dual core. I bet it's a dual core. Or be i5 quad core, won't it? On an i5, yeah, quad core. Second gen i5. Even with an SSD, this is going to struggle to pull you out of bed in the morning. Yeah. Oh, it's an A data as well. Oh my gosh. Somebody didn't like him when they went, let's update you to an SSD. Let's put an A data one in. Or ADATA, whatever you pronounce it, A data. That CPU is just pinned at 100% permanently. My gosh. So, McAfee, thanks for speeding my computer up with getting rid of viruses. Let's use half of your resources. And let the rapport management use the other half. Between that, you can't actually do anything on your system. Wonderful. Sounds like Windows is very, very bloated. Yeah, it needs to go on a diet, doesn't it? Well, in fairness, it needs to go on a really strict diet, and Linux. This would be a prime laptop for putting something like a Linux on there, because it'll, after he's got over initial thing of looking where to click for things, it'll just run perfectly for him. Not too bad. It should run okay, just very dirty. Yeah. I'm going to check the when I can get into it, or when it lets me into it. I mean, Norton's still freezing everything up. So we've got we've got Windows Defender running. We've got Norton running. We've got IBM Rapport running, and we've got McAfee. But we all know McAfee and the other one only pretend to run. They're terrible. So let's just run Crystal Disk. SSD Toolbox. Never seen that before. I wonder what that does. ADATA SSD Toolbox. We'll have a look at that. I would imagine it's only something a bit garbagey to do that. It's got a memory card in it as well. See what's in here. Crystal Disk info, portable. Let's see where we go. Come on, come on, come on. What's everyone's opinion on Norton and McAfee? Do you reckon they deserve the grief they get, or do you think they're unfairly treated? Personally, I wouldn't put either one on a system, because I think they're both pants and they cause more problems than enough. Considering you pay a lot of money for them, I think you can buy a hell of a lot better. I'd rather use Microsoft Defender, Windows Defender, than Norton or McAfee, if I'm being honest, on my system. I would rather use Defender than than Avast, AVG, Bitdefender, or McAfee or Norton. I wouldn't put any of those on there, as I do not believe they are very good at all. But hey, only time will tell. Come on, right, 97% on that. That's not bad. Hardly done any hours. 44 days, so yeah, hardly any use. Got a lot of writes on it though, and not a lot of reads. 19 terabytes of write, and 8 terabytes of read. Am I right in thinking, somebody in chat please advise me on this, you should get more reads than writes? Because obviously reading is when Windows is loading, and it'll read the information to obviously load the operating system to load the software, but it won't necessarily write all that software back to disk, so your reading should always be higher. Well, Bitdefender, isn't it owned by Symantec now, which is owned by, I can't remember what parent company is. It's owned by parent company Symantec, Bitdefender, so they're slowly transitioning it over to Norton AV engine. That's the way I understood it with Bitdefender. Yeah, so, sorry, the host writes, shouldn't the host writes be less than the host reads? Because of the way Windows reads and writes data, and obviously you read a lot more than you write a lot more because you're opening programs which are obviously reading data, not writing data. So to have it coming up to 2.5 times more, and things like antivirus reads data, so that would go against it. Internet Explorer reading from your cache, not Internet Explorer, Google and Edge reading from your cache. Every time you open something, it reads. I would have thought the disparity should be 2.5 times. Oh, is it still owned independently, according to Google? Didn't know that. I thought I'll take Bitdefender off my list then. I thought it was owned by, because Symantec isn't the parent company in Norton. They own Norton, but there's a parent company above them who own Norton, Symantec, and is it AVG they own, and Avast is owned by McAfee, or all the way around, I can't remember. I know them two are, but I thought Bitdefender had come under there as well. So let me just do a quick speed test on this disk. I don't like ADATA disks. Again, I don't know if anybody's got any opinion on it. I only ever see issues with them. I bought a batch of 6 to try them because they were affordable a lot of years ago. When I was still fitting 128 gigabyte drives, and I think out of the 6, 4 failed. Some failed incredibly quickly, others failed within sort of 6 to 12 months. So I just thought, I can't be bothered with crap drives, so I binned them. And considering they're only just a little bit cheaper than some other brands which are out there, like Kingston or Crucial, I would say they're a better offering and a better bang for buck than what you would normally get with ADATA or ADATA, or I'm not too sure how you pronounce it. I just feel like they're a little bit lower down on pecking order for this. That that read write, even though I started it, still hasn't started. 8 gigabytes of CPU again. Look at it, just eating away CPU. It's that report management software. What a memory hog. So, 489. That's reasonable. Reasonable read. It's probably it'll be SATA SSD in here, so that's a decent read speed. That, I mean, it'll be filling cache up if it has a cache, but I very much doubt whether that's got a cache chip on it, because I don't think any ADATAs did with price point they were hitting. Because I think the ADATA discs, I think when I was buying them, I were only paying about £7 or £8 for discs, plus the tax. But even so, they were very, very affordable. But that's a decent read. Let's see what the QDepth 3 and QDepth 4 comes back at. Decent read on QDepth 2. Still got a decent read at that. Highlight. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, cheers, cows. Thank you very much. Oh, there was something I was going to speak to you about cows. Can't remember what it was. No, can't remember. Can't remember cows. I think it was when you were on about the gaming system on Discord the other day. I meant to reply to one of your messages, but I can't remember. Can he remember? But thank you for putting that on there, cows. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Were you on Russ's? No problem. Thank you. Were you on Russ's stream yesterday when when he were getting bombarded with the? I think it was yesterday, Monday, ain't it? Yeah, when he was getting bombarded with the concurrent commands, sound commands. I've tried to tweak a few of mine, so Falcon can't put the big command across to. Wow, that's a really high read speed on QDEP3. That is never right. That doesn't seem right at all. That's a really high read speed on QDEP3. Yeah, when he was putting the all the concurrent cams, Ace was doing it, and I did get timed out myself for doing it as well. But what? Oh, that's more like it. 12. But what I did realise, all Russ's sound effects are Russ is the best. Yeah, it was. Well, I kept dropping into Twitch because they were only working on Twitch, so I kept dropping into Twitch to occasionally do it as well. But I had to pop out in the end to do it. But it was funny. It did remind me of when Falcon or Worms comes in here and copies all the commands and put them across. I have put some of mine onto concurrent now, so I'm hoping they don't play they don't all play at once. But it was a little bit funny. So this guy was complaining that he had Wi-Fi issues. I honestly don't think he's got a Wi-Fi issue. Oh, that's more like it. Look at that write speed there. Let's see where QDepth2 goes, because I think QDepth2 will come back, if I'm right in what I'm thinking, I think QDepth2 will come back at around sort of 150-ish, let's say. 130 to 180 to give me a benchmark either way of 150. So yeah, customer complaining that bad Wi-Fi. There we go. Nearly double what the other one is. Actually, not double, is it? About 50% more. So 65% more. Actually, where that QDEP3 on that read speed 167. That seems too high. Seems far too high. That I would expect if QDEP2's come back as 350. I would have expected QDEP3 on a read speed to come back on there somewhere around 60 to 70 as a decent read speed. I think that's too high. And I think what's happening is all his antiviruses are playing and fighting against each other. I wonder if he's got any hard faults. No, I won't have hard faults there because his memory's not high enough. So his QDepth2 is same as his QDepth1 on his right, which is still considerably less, but it's more in line where I would think it would be. Let's see where his final one goes. So, gentlemen, because I'll speak to the customer, where do you think we advise the customer? My advice would be backing his data up, wiping Windows, a fresh install of Windows 10 without all his antiviruses. Yeah. Yeah, big no-no. It's got 3 running. Well, it's got 4 if you can't rep all, because I suppose it acts a bit like an antivirus because it monitors the system. I often see Rapport running all the time, Kawazak. I often see it running all the time in there. But look at his score for his write on his QDepth4. That score's wrong. That score is wrong. Certainly on an age system like this, on a quad-core processor, that score is wrong. Them numbers don't add up to me. There's something wrong. That's a gigabyte sample file to write at 38 megabits. I think that's wrong. I'd expect that if it was an M2 drive, 4th gen M2, but an old ADATA SSD SATA drive. I think that's a bit wrong. Let's have a look. Sorry, B. Morgan. Oh, sorry, guys. Just 1 second. I've got somebody at my door, I think. I do have 2 notifications. I've got somebody at my door. Hello.
Is this the PC doctor?
It is. Just bear me 1 second. Sorry. No, no. That's an interesting one, chap. Bizarrely, we were just discussing this. Sorry, I've just got to put it on. Just got to put it on mute for obvious reasons. Oh, with that, bizarrely, I've never seen one of these before. I'm going to show you on stream. We have a sim book. I don't know if anybody's seen one of these before, but it's running. It's running our little penguin friend here. He's got a dual boot system. He uses Fedora as his daily driver. So we were just discussing that, weren't we? Which one he uses? But it is a Linux designed laptop on there. So yeah, a bit bizarre. We were just discussing that, and one walks through the door. But that is a no power issue. Computer's not powering at all. So yeah, that sounds like obviously a hardware issue rather than anything else. To do that. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Got a phone call now. It's what it is. PC repairs. How can I help? Hello. I don't know. Sorry. No. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Right, sorry, I just need to text this customer back who wants to come up, pick up. Right, he's done, just make sure he's paid. This is one I did yesterday, I think it was. So that's all paid, he can come and pick up. Yeah, so a bit bizarre that we've just discussing Linux and one walk through the door, so yeah. Yeah, the Chris Titus script program it's very good at disabling it as well. I use another one, and I've got a really stripped down, cut down version of 11 and 10, which I quite like, which I've tweaked from with one of those configuration scripts as well to auto install. And it auto installs quite a few different bits for me as well, like some of my diagnostic software as well, or pre-configures. I've got about 4 or 5 versions of it, what I've done. So I thought, ooh, haven't heard of that until I googled it, realised I'd use it. Yes, you can run the script without the program. It offers the program with a few pounds. I prefer the program. $10. Yeah, it's inexpensive to do. I tend to, rather than debloating on day one, I'll the one I use, I've written myself to. It's a unattended script install, and that just installs exactly what I want and also pre-configures it as well. So I put the memory USB drive in, and it'll set up the account, set up the password, set up the Wi-Fi for me and everything else, and does all different bits and bobs. And I've got about five or six different versions of that, because some of them will install things like OpenOffice or LibreOffice, for example, if customer wants that, and so on, or disable Windows Defender and so on. So different bits and bobs. So gents, can I just ask, what's people's thoughts on this? I would probably be saying to the customer, minimum is an install of Windows 10. Let's get Windows 10 reinstalled, data backed up, Windows 10 installed, and see how it goes. I'm not liking the results of the disk info on there. It's not showing any errors, and the disk hasn't done much work, but it is showing a disparity between read and writes quite considerably. Are we thinking the disk might be failing as well, or are we just thinking it's because it's an old system? I think from the CPU usage I can see on screen, I mean, if you look at Norton's actually still sucking down quite a bit on my network, as well as you doing everything. So it's still active on there. I think a fresh install of Windows might just breathe some life back into this for this customer. Background processors were thrashing disk access. I don't really trust ADATA, but it seems fine. Yeah, I don't trust it either. Just the numbers just don't seem correct. But I think Windows install just as the most cost-effective solution. So we will put on here. Where's that piece of paper? I'll have to ring him and see if he agrees with me. Windows 10 install. I'm going to put that in there. Oh, close that down, and close that down, and get rid of. I think he's got a shell on here as well. I think he's got a. I think this is the other thing as well. He's obviously got a Windows shell of some description. Has he got? Has he got? No, it's just a shell, isn't it? Just a shell. Yeah, so we will close that down. Shut down. Shut down. Memory stick out. Let's move on to something more interesting and exciting, which is going to be that hardware diagnostics now. Most shops would sell them a newer computer. You're right, they probably would. You can spend 10 hours fixing and cleaning that Windows install, but it's pointless. Fresh install and try to educate customer not to install anything unnecessary on a 15-year-old computer. Yeah, I think that's the half the battle is that education bit, because they'll get it back and they'll put on what they had before, even though they don't need what they had before, because they probably don't use the stuff they had before. But you know that's going to be the case. I run Malwarebytes, but I purchased it when it was a license for life, and the standard Win protection. Have you got a license for life on Malwarebytes? Wow, I didn't even know they ever did that. Yeah, he'll have to register with his. He's obviously got an email address tagged to it. It's still trying to shut down this computer. It's still shutting down. He's got an email address to it, so hopefully it'll pull his OneDrive stuff and everything else, and then that'll, as long as he says I'm in EU, that'll pull his extended year down, won't it? Second gen i5. I could probably get Windows 11 running on it. Maybe might need to. Maybe not the latest version of Windows 11, because there was that other security update which broke quite a few other bits and bobs. But might even get Windows 11 running it. But I'm probably not gonna tempt fate too much with that. Still shutting down this computer. So slow, so slow. Ah, right. So that could be why. Yeah, Morgan BM, B Morgan. Sorry. It could be why it's affecting the read-write data or the read-write results. You might be right on that one. They used to, but not for new customers. Stopped at least a couple of years ago. All right. I bought Malwarebytes about 4 or 5 years ago, and I used to subscribe to it I only used it as an on-demand scanner, because I use Kaspersky on my system, and I use it as an on-demand scanner as well. So yeah, never got that. They keep bombarding me with saying buy it, but I only use it on demand, so I don't really need. Just bear in 1 second. Somebody else at the door, gentlemen. weren't expecting him. Sorry, guys. Let me put that back on. Yeah, so where was I? Oh, it's finally shut down. It's finally shut down. It's finally shut down. Get that unplugged. We're going to get on some more into. So I will ring this customer and explain the predicament. Oh yeah, done that one. Yes, Windows 11 will run if you bypass CPU and TPM checks, but you have to run feature updates manually in a year or two. Yeah, but weren't there another security update with 24H2, which actually broke it again? I don't mean the bypassers. There was a security update built into something, what they did, and it was something to do with BIOSes not recognising it or something other than TPM and secure boot. Because I've had it a couple of times where you can't put it on really old systems, even with some BIOS updates on there. I have had that. Right, so I can't remember what I were doing now. Doing your brain cell don't work. Oh, desktop PC. Watch out, dog. We're going to do a desktop PC now. We've got some. Right. Oh, it's a humongous one. Humongous. Oh, it's a water cool system as well. Let's see if I can carry it through without dropping it. No, I can't. Okie, put that in there. We have got a new motherboard for this one. Got a new motherboard and desktop computer. This one's not the diagnostic one. Diagnostic one's going to come in a few minutes once I've done this one. I could do this one out of the way. Oh, get on there. We are going to have a blast at this. Right. Put that down there because we need to copy data off there. Okay, so story behind this one, when I get it in shot, is new parts for Christmas, and father and son has tried to build it themselves. Didn't successfully, well, they did successfully build it and didn't successfully build it. They successfully built it as they transplanted all the parts, but the computer wasn't running right. So they came to me and I said, I can't even remember what it was. I said, you need to tidy your cabling up because you can see cabling's all a mess. And I honestly cannot remember what it was, but it was something pretty straightforward. And I says, you just need to do that. Instead of paying me, take it away and do it yourself. And I also told them to change the fans around as well because they had everything exhausting rather than coming in. So change fans around, done this. Don't power at all now. And it was powering before, it's not powering at all now. So we need to do a full strip down. They want me to take everything out and rebuild it from scratch. Everything apart from power supply, obviously, and rebuild it from scratch. I've just seen some non-factory wiring down there, so I'll be investigating that in a tick. Let's see what that is. Holy moly, how time flies. Not a couple of years. Malwarebytes stopped selling new lifetime license directly from 2014. Yeah, I would say, because I think I had it before lockdown, which was 2019, 2020 or whatever it was. So, yeah, I seem to remember doing that. There's few driver compatibility issues here and there, but nothing major. Haven't seen a BIOS related issue. I read it somewhere on one of the forums that it was something to do with it was a security update which broke something on one of the, or something to do with CPU. And I know you can bypass the TPM and secure boot, but it wasn't that. It was another thing, and I honestly can't remember for the life of me what it was. But it was only applicable to 24H2 and forward. That's when they did this other security update. I honestly can't remember what it was. I think I've only come across it once because I generally don't install 24H2. I'll put a slightly older one on and then do the, because I think if you install one older and then update, it's fine. But it won't install the update because it'll fail. It won't install the image if you do it from a clean image. But if you do a 23H2 and get it to do Windows Update, it'll install everything apart from that update. Does that make a bit of sense? So you can still bring it all up to date apart from that feature update. or something like that. I might have just clipped that to Sir's phone. Why? What did I say? What did I say, cows? What did I do? 24H2 broke support for Intel Core 2 through Thoreau sadly. So I'll put the glasses back on. I don't know what I said, cows. Sorry. What did I say? I must have said something. I'll have to have a look. His minimum requirements. I'm going to have a look at see what you've clipped and put in there. What have I put in there? What have I put in there? Have I done something in Discord? Oh wait, there. He's tagged me in Discord. I'm just going to have a look at what he's put in. I can't even find where he's put it. Have you put it in general? I couldn't resist. Oh, what did I do?
It's a humongous one. It's a humongous one. Humongous.
Oh, love it, cow. Love it, love it, love it. That will be making its way. That will be making its way onto my sound clipboard, no doubt. I've got a humongous one. You know, it's an undervalued word, that really. Humongous. It's an undervalued word. Tell you. Oh dear. General found it close. Look, brilliant. Yeah, I missed that one. You say things occasionally, and you don't realise connotation until somebody clips it and posts it. I do like that one. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? That's the reality behind it. I'm going to start taking this to pieces and cutting some of his wiring out. Let's go to that one. I will try and show this best I can. So what we're going to do on this one, gents, is literally take it to pieces and rebuild it and make it look like a nice shiny computer up to my standards. So from what it looked like, they've not done a bad job at all. Apart from some cable management, everything else seemed okay. I've not taken it to pieces, so I don't know how in depth or how well it is done. But what I said was, to be sure, if I'm going to put my name to it for reliability and stability, I want to really be taking it to pieces and rebuilding it from scratch to make sure you've not left a standoff underneath and put it in the wrong place or something like that. So we have, what card have we got here? We've got a 16 gigabyte 4060. I don't know if it's a TI, but it says a 4060. 16 gigabyte will be a TI on that, won't it? So you've got a 4060 just there. So not a bad graphics card at all. And they've gone for the despisable, the horrible, two mechanical drives. Horrible water cooling. Horrible water cooling. Why on earth would you do it to yourself? Buying a brand new system, please don't put water cooling in it. Please don't put water cooling in it. I beg you, do not put water cooling in your system. And can I get that off? Will that come off? Will I break it? Probably. Oh. And if it were up to me, we won't put glass panels on computers either. I know they look nice, but what a pain in the backside. With the new CPU instructions requirement for 22H2, it wouldn't do the feature update from 23H2 either. Basically, kernel wouldn't even boot. So no way to get 24H2 or 25H2. Yeah, I think that must have been what I was thinking of. Oh, sorry. I know this is going to be a bit big for my camera base, but I've got no other viewpoint, unfortunately, unless I put it on face cam and then do desk, and then we can look at the bottom of that. Wonderful. See if I can zoom out and see if I can. Oh, I can't move it up, can I? Like working with your hand behind your back when your camera's not working. Right, so I won't put. Oh dear. Right, we're going to disconnect that, and we're going to pull all these wiring through. Yeah, that might be what I was remembering and thinking, that it was that with the updates for the older CPUs. From what I read, it just meant they wouldn't work, and I tried it and I couldn't get it to work. So I like I was saying, I go on 23H2 and then do manual updates, and then it just fails to put the 24H2 on update. but it'll still do security updates. Well, it just won't do the main update on that. But I suppose, is 24H2 better than having Windows 10? I mean, I would say not, because I don't like Windows 11, but a lot of people would say they'd rather have Windows 11 24H2 than Windows 10. I think that's what most people would or may say. So we've got another little hub here as well. My gosh, he's got more. There's more wires in it. And you get RGB, and you get fans, and you get this, and you get that. You end up with all sorts, don't you? So let's get these unplugged. Let's see if we can build a PC. See if we can build a PC and see where we are going with that. This has got his RAM right slots. I think that was one of the things I said to him that he needed to swap over. We just need a lot of cable management doing on here, just to make it look a lot nicer. I think half the battle with computers is understanding what you need to put in when you want to do it when you're building a system, rather than fitting motherboard, which is what these have done, and forgetting to, well, not fitting some other bits and bobs, like putting his cables down bottom and whatnot. Everything's off barring the CPU one down there. Let's see if I can squash that with the. That's that one off. Brilliant. Let's see if we can start feeding some of these back out. And again, you've not got a pretty view, but it's the only view we can show you whilst it's stood up on the desk. I'm limited, not so much limited for space. I'm limited on, well, space I suppose is the right thing. When I come to read, is it? At least he's got. Well, he should have had some more wiring for the power supply, and he told me he didn't have any more wiring. He must have more wiring unless there's some in the box, because it's a modular power supply, and he is missing. No hard drives in this. Told me I had SATA hard drives, M2 hard drives, and I've got 2 SATA cables plugged in. Strikes me as being a bit odd, but hey, I'll pull everything through. We're going to do a full rewire. How's that going? Oh, and then that can come through here. I don't even know what CPU this is. I will check that the standoffs are in the right place before we power up. But with him having it working, and now it's not working. Let's check. No idea what that's for, so we'll keep that to one side. And we have another one there. We need to route these in a different place because these aren't pretty. And they all go to a hub here. Wonderful. Wonderful. All his pins on his hub are bent. Right, what's the chat's opinion on, do we have the cooler as pushing or pulling? At the moment, he's got it as pushing air out of the case. What's people's views? My view would be push, because he's not really got any heat generation in the case, and we've got fresh air coming in, so we've got a nice circulative manner. The downside is it's difficult to clean, but the positive is you're not then blowing hot air into your case. So the only thing I may have done is put the fans on. At the moment, fans are on bottom at water cooler here. I might put the fans at the top and then the water cooler on the bottom. So at least if it's still blowing through, sucking through, it's easier just to vacuum the radiator at this side rather than trying to clean all the fans. That's the push. I think push is the right thing. I would probably change them to pull, but as I say, put them on the other side of the radiator. So you've got the radiator and then the fans and then the case. So you're still exhausting air through here. It just means you've got radiator fins here and you can vacuum the radiator fins to keep them clean. Rather than this, you'd have to take the fans off and clean the radiator fins. Oh yeah. You'd see the RGB fans through the top. I don't like RGB, so I mean, I didn't even give that any consideration. Yeah, good point, RGB. I never give it any consideration because I do not like RGB. I never fit water coolers because I do not like them. I actively tell people not to buy them. I'm not a lover of water cooling at all. I would always say spend 40 quid on a thermal take Peerless Assassin 120, and from my experience, they cool as well, if not better than some. Yeah, that's the thing with RGB. You'll see them through top of case. So do you want them shining into the case or do you want them out at top of case? Because you'd still see them through top of case. You just won't see them as clear. So you are right on that, Chris. Yeah. But I know that's how I ain't got RGB in mine. That's how I've got mine. But I ain't got RGB on mine. Right, so let me check the pegs. Yeah, the two cable. I tell you what I do like, and I've done a few. Do you know the ones where the fans interlock? And the fans are interlocking like that, and you kind of slide them down, so the daisy chain a lot easier. They're nice, so you only have one power cable going at the end, and I think you can put up to 6 fans in. I think you can put up to 6 fans in. 1, 2, 3. We're okay with that. 1, 2. Got 1 there, 2 there. I'm just going to check his pins are in the right place. Oh, now is that a standoff he's got there? I'm going to have to take board out and have a look. Got a standoff there, which is that one. And I think if that's a standoff there, he's got the standoff in the wrong place. So I think he's left a standoff in the wrong place. If he has, that's not good. Let me take this bracket off the back. Again, guys, I'm really sorry. It's a terrible, terrible view. I have actually moved the webcam up. Yeah, that's not going to show me, so. I've moved the webcam up higher to give me a bit more field of view, field of vision, but it's still not probably as high as I need it. Right, so I think board's going to have to come out anyway, because I think he's got maybe a couple of pegs possibly in the wrong place. You know, the standoffs. Yeah, how does thermal tape do them as well, which are paired up? I didn't know they did them as well. So cooler's going to have to come off. So it is going to be a complete teardown and a complete rebuild of everything. Apart from the power supply and the 2 front fans. They're the only things which are going to stay in situ. Everything else, including the water cooler, which he hasn't put any washers on, are going to come out. So he's not put any washers on, so I haven't got any washers to go on it. I don't think that'll be a major importance. So let's get this fan out. Loosen board, and then once I've loosened board, I'll take water cooler off. Take all these out first. Yeah, the thermal take Peerless Assassin. If anybody's not tried that, I think they're about £37 on Amazon. I don't know. What the hell was that? Something's just beeped at me. I don't know what that was. £37 on Amazon. That laptop's come back to life. I don't know why it's come back to. Oh, this thermal compound all over down here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this out and clean it anyway, because this thermal compound down here. They are brilliant. Well, I've got one in my gaming PC on my 9850X3D, and it keeps it to around 70 degrees. The dual fan, brilliant. They do them with designs. I've got the, that's going to annoy me, this HP down here for whatever reason decided to start beeping at me. Put it on a shelf, it can beep up there. Yeah, they do a few variations. They do a black, a silver, a grey, and they do, I think, a white one with an RGB, whatchamacallit on it. I love how they've put, I don't know if you can see this, they've put fibre washers on all screws, on all motherboard screws. I mean, you don't need it. It's not gonna hurt it, but you could really do with a ground. So they'll be removed because some of these are grounding screws, as we know. So they will be removed to give us a ground. So that should release the board. Have I got every screw? Have I missed one? Because it feels a bit... Yeah, I've missed that one there. Yeah, I used to fit Noctua coolers. And when I were building my system last year, that'll fall out. When I was building my system last year, I ordered a Noctua cooler. And then I saw, I think Gamers Nexus did a review on it. And we're saying basically these coolers are brilliant and that. And then I did quite a bit more research on it. And I think there was only a couple of degrees difference between that and a Noctua. And I went for the Langying case, or Ling Yang, or whatever it is, Lai Yan case, which has got brilliant airflow. And I run the double Peerless Assassin cooler. I run, I think I've got one or maybe possibly two fans coming in, I can't remember now, and one going out. And under full load, and that's where 5090 sat in there as well, under full load, I'm hitting about 70 degrees on CPU. And then it drops to around sort of 47, 48 degrees as soon as I kill the load within, I'd say, a second and a half. It is really nice. I mean, I don't run it hard anyway, so that's only under benchmarking. But even on a soak test under benchmarking as well, you know, a 10-minute benchmark. There's a story behind it, Chris. There's a story behind it, like there is with a lot of my things. There's a story behind it. It's a HPB, yeah, battery's dying. I've not even turned it on. That's the crazy thing about it, Costello. I've not even turned it on. I only opened it to say it had a power issue. So it's it'll stop beeping. It's not been switched on that computer since November. Customer brought me it, and it's a business, and she says we've not even switched it on since November. She says because screen didn't work, but it's a school. Yeah, screen is coming on. It's just because battery's going flat. You're right on that. Yeah, so gaming PC. I bought the motherboard, the CPU, and the RAM. Yeah, 128 gigabytes of DDR5. You're right, James. And sorry, I bought 64 gigabytes of DDR4. Let me get this right. 64 gigabytes of DDR4, and it didn't turn up. Went missing. So I contacted them and I said, my RAM hasn't turned up. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, we'll send it again. So they sent it again, and it turned up. Brilliant. Put it in my computer. Then about a month later, it then turned up again. So I rang him and I went, I emailed them and I went, you've sent me another set. No, we haven't. I went, you've sent me another set. No, we haven't. I went, you have. I've got two sets. I've got 128 gigabytes. I'm happy to send one back. No, we haven't sent it. I says, does that mean I can keep it? Well, we haven't sent it. Fine, I'll keep it. So I just put all 4 sticks in the PC. So it's running 128 gigabyte RAM, which I know is overkill. And then the 5090, I ordered a 5070. Was it 5070? And I had a 4090. And to cut a long story short with that, I had a customer who had an issue, and he swapped his 5090 for a 4090, and £100. That's what he wanted. So I said, yeah, if you want to get rid of it. So I moved up to 5090 on that one. Yeah. So I don't think I bought a graphics card in the last, I don't know how many years. I can't argue too much. You know what? If they're insisting, I mean, I tried my best to say, you have, give me it. No. So yeah, 128 gigabyte DDR. It's got a 2 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro drive in it, and I've got two 1 terabyte 990s in RAID on there as well. M.2s, Gen 4 ones. It's got 3 slots on it. I only run one game. It makes no difference at all to me. I run one game, so I don't need storage. I don't need the capacity. And I certainly... And then to make it better, I've got a 240 hertz OLED curved screen monitor. And I cap my FPS at 75 FPS. I don't even run the FPS high. I cap it down. Right, I'm gonna... Yeah, he'd put that in wrong. So guys, the reason why I was taking this out, which is what I was trying to look at, I'll try and show you under camera. He's left in, go to there and see if I can just move it down a little bit and move it that way. He'd left that stud in here, which obviously there's no hole for. So that stud was in wrong, and I think, can it play Doom? Do you know what would stop it playing Doom? Is that I ain't got Doom on it. I'd also left that one in, which shouldn't go in there. It also left another one in down here. He's got two in here. He's got one there and one there. And yeah, so there's a few spare pegs in there. So we're going to put the board to one side because I need to disassemble that next. Because he's got thermal compound all over, so we will disassemble that. So are we saying, gents, that we leave this on the same configuration for his fans? We're not gonna move them around. We're gonna leave them on push. It just makes it a bit difficult to clean. I think he's put an extra one in there, and it's that one he doesn't need. Does he need that one? No, he doesn't need that one. He's put an extra one in there, and he's put one in he doesn't need. Oh, he's put gold ones in, not black. He's got black ones in. You can play Doom on your washing machine. I'm hoping it's not short anything significant. But we will test the board before putting it back in anyway, just to make sure he's not broken anything. Which other one did I say? That one there. So there was 3 in the wrong place. You know, as much as I work on motherboards, I always have to look back to the board and just make sure I've got them all correct. So they're all in parallel, which is looking about right now. And then we can do a bit of wiring. It's not really pretty on how... I'm going to swap them fans around as well. Probably take his wiring out of these holes here. Because, you know, if you're doing it, you might as well do it properly. Stick a disco in there. Add more fans to the bottom for more RGB blink. Yeah, could do that. I'm not a lover of that. I've got RGB fans up there, which I keep in for customers. But I don't know. Just something about RGB. Yeah. I'm a, oh God, he stripped that screw well. I'm a big believer in a computer's there to be played on, and do you know, if you spend all that money on a computer for performance and you spend it all on a nice monitor and you want OLED, you want, you know, 200 hertz refresh rate, you want it in 4K or whatever, why have a tacky LED flashing strobing light in your eye line, in your vision, under your desk, what really A, doesn't add anything to performance, and B, is just going to distract you from the beauty of a nice looking monitor? You would never have an expensive TV and then put flashing disco lights around it. That's what I can't get my head around. I know why people do it, but I can't get my head around why they do it. It's just not my cup of tea. And the ones which get me as well, I had one come before Christmas, when I built before Christmas, and he brought me 15 fans to fit in the case. One, I don't think, well, I couldn't get all 15 in case anyway. And they're all RGB fans. I'm thinking if he's got any type of epilepsy, he's going to cause himself to have a seizure here with all the flashing fans he's got. But yeah, 15 fans. And they were dear fans as well. He'd bought Corsair fans. They weren't the cheap fans. They, you know, they were reasonably priced fans. They're not too loud, but they were reasonably priced. Yeah, I always run him as push or pull, but I again, I was saying it earlier, close look. I have mine as pull. I prefer, and again, this will divide opinion, but hey, that's what we're here for. Most people fit them at the top here. I always think they're better fitted at the front of the case, so they stand vertically with pipes at the bottom, inlet and outlet pipes at the bottom. So if there is any air in it, it gets trapped at the top, which has got no circulation. You put it on here, and there's a possibility that it can pump the air back round and get stuck in the water block, which obviously sits here. So if you put them at the top of the case, because it's horizontal and level, the air bubble, because it will get air bubbles in eventually, will go round, and eventually it could end up in the water block. Then you're not getting circulation around the water block, which can cause issues. You have them vertical at the front of the case. You can't do it on here, obviously, with it being glass, but if it was a grilled case, you put them vertical with the pipes at the bottom. Any air sits at the top, and it never moves from there. So that's how I like it. That's how I've got mine, and that's how I would always recommend it, unless you had a front case which is made out of glass. You've only got really up here now to place it. It's fine. Set on one colour. I hated it. Now I love it. They do look attractive. They look really, really, really attractive. But sorry, I was just changing that on me configuration. They do look really, really attractive. Again, it's just personal preference to what you want. He has got a temperature gauge on here as well. I need to figure out where its sensors are for there, because he says this sensors what they had to mount as well. So yeah, I think that one's in the wrong place. I'm going to take that one out and put that one back in that other hole there, but that doesn't look like it's in the right place for that motherboard to me. No, it's not. That one, that was the only one which isn't parallel, I think. Yeah, it isn't. It's offset. That's good. That's good. Right, so let's plug them two out. There is controllers for his fan hub. That's his temp. I presume they're... Oh my gosh, what's he got here? Where is it? What's that for? I have no idea what that button's for. Oh, that's a... Yeah, I don't know what that's for. He must have fan speed controllers on his whatchamacallits as well. At least we've got that. So let's put the case to one side and take the air cooler. Oh, air cooler off. God, it's 5 o'clock. Let's get the AIO stripped down. This would have been a lot easier build if it weren't built, which makes a bit of sense, really, doesn't it? Oh, right. This one is again with an awful lot of we've got an awful lot of extra extra thermal compound, as we can see on camera. It's quite all over. So the only reason I'm taking this off is just to make sure it's not under CPU like it was on the one we did the other day, and there's no surprises when we come to boot or anything like that, because with it not powering or not booting, I'm not too sure whether it's not doing that because the I don't think the standoffs being left in touching the board will be. Oh my gosh, a full tube of yeah. Perfect amount. What do we think? Yeah, let me get a cloth. Oh, ugh. Let me scrape some of this off. could actually reuse this. It's there's that much I could actually harvest. I think they've bought a tube and put a tube on. Which again, if you don't know, you don't know. Because do you know what? We don't know what we don't know, do we? I mean, ultimately, that's the thing. I remember a lot of years ago, I went to service my car, my automobile. It was a Rover 420 GSI on a K plate. That's how old. How I refill a tube? I could refill that. It's even worse when they do it with liquid metal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's even worse when they do it with that. And I thought you just put a. I thought you just kind of filled your whatever you got in the oil can. You just put back in your car. So I just emptied me dirty oil out and then just emptied a full can of oil in my car. Hasten to say, I blew my head gasket and all the bits and bobs. So I was trying to save some money by doing service myself, and it ended up costing me a lot of money for a head gasket and all sorts of bits and bobs I needed to do on my car. But it's a lesson learnt, isn't it? It's a lesson learned. I'll often get people ringing me up and saying, do you sell thermal compound? And I'll go, I don't sell it as cheap as Amazon, because I only have big tubes. Buy it off Amazon. Oh, I want it today. I want it today. So I will sell them one, and I'll always say to them, because I'll sell the bigger tubes, I don't keep the small tubes in. So I will say, less is more. Please don't put a lot on. Please don't put a lot on, because less is more. And I'll tell you now, because we all know what's going to happen. They're going to get home and put far too much on. Not even if they do think it'll squeeze out, they still put far too much on, because that's what people do. But I noticed quite a lot of people online. I know Tronics Fix, he always says perfect amount, but I think sometimes he puts wrong or far too much on as well. Certainly a lot more than I put on as well. So it's probably a personal thing. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all this off, but it's going to be a heck of a lot cleaner than it was before. At least he's not got it on his radiator and his fans or anything like that. Not like the one I did the other day, which was covered in it, and that was the one which the professional had built. So far, this is actually better than what the Pro built. And we know this isn't perfect, but we weren't expecting this to be perfect. And you know, they did it. This is a DIY build, so we weren't expecting anything other than that. I think we were talking on stream the other day about this contact cleaner. This contact cleaner is amazing, guys. I would really recommend this to clean CPUs. And oh, we've got a 5900X. I would really, for cleaning thermal compound, and I think somebody looked, you've got about in large quantities, but when it's in stock it's about £1.30 a can, and it's a 500 millilitre can, and it is brilliant. I use it all the time for cleaning all stuff. I use it more than I use my IPA. I don't use IPA as anywhere near as much as I use this stuff. It does clean exceptionally well. Most I can off there, and have I got a Kim Tech wipe? Give it a good soak and see if I can use a toothbrush too. Really get down into things. If you've seen my video on Saturday, Carthor, that's exactly what they'd done. There's a video out. It's about, I think, about an hour into the stream, where I actually get the CPU out and look at the CPU, and it was a Pro build, Carthor, and they'd put thermal compound, not purposefully, but it was a Pro build, and it got probably a square centimetre underneath the CPU on the CPU mount. And I said at the beginning of this stream, the defence by the guy was, well, it won't make any difference, it won't stop it working. That was a Pro. You saw it, did you? Bit of your stream. Have you checked backward? Yeah, the where I take the CPU out and you see it underneath. But it obviously, I mean, obviously put it in, so it must have known he'd got it on there, because he still mounted the CPU in there. And with him having the defence of it wouldn't make any difference, I think he knew he'd got it in there and he just couldn't be bothered to clean it. But he'd again, a Pro had used a full tube of thermal compound on it. I remember doing one a few years ago now, and I've never seen it before or after, and it was gold thermal compound. I swear to this day that it was some type of copper grease rather than thermal compound, because I've never seen it again. But it just got, you know, what thermal compound gets everywhere. This got everywhere. I was cleaning it off me for months. I'd put my hand on light switch and I'd end up with an handful of this gold stuff. I ain't got a clue where it was coming from. I have no idea. It just got absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So we'll pop the CPU out just to make sure. That stuff though, guys, contact cleaner, Sovereign contact, £1.30 a can. I think you can buy it if you buy it in bulk for 500ml. Brilliant. Can't recommend it highly enough. Used it for a lot of years. Love the stuff. Love the stuff. Right, there's nothing in. CPU's a bit. Can you see lined out CPU there? I can see it on camera, so I presume you guys can. It's just lighter at one side of the CPU than the rest. I wonder why that is. And it's not just light, it's got another area here where it's a bit lighter as well. Bit weird. I'm just going to give that a spray with contact cleaner, just to make sure it's not, you know, the stuff. So we'll just give that a couple of ticks to dry off, and I'm not going to waste too much time with that socket because there's nothing. It's around the periphery, but it's not actually. How I can't even pronounce that. Halnizi. They do a gold one. Ah, right. It's crap. Yeah, I ended up changing it because it were all over. I actually rang him and I went, I think this has got copper grease on or something. He said, well, I had it built a computer. I said, well, I don't think it's right because I'd never seen gold one before. But yeah, it just, honest to God, it were worse because it just got everywhere. It's got a nice scratch on top of here. Look at that nice scratch on a new CPU. That's good, isn't it? I mean, it's not deep. It's very, very light, but you wouldn't expect a new CPU. They've, I would imagine, they've probably scratched it with the cooler. I'm gonna put me hot air on a tick just to dry this CPU. Because whilst this isn't conductive, I don't really want to put it in with a load of stuff. Got hot really quick. Yeah, you could do. It does come out so quick, I agree. I like it because it comes out quick as well, but I never even thought about putting it into an IPA bottle. I am seriously considering, James, when I run out, just doing another bulk order. So if you did want some and you don't want to go with the full bulk order, I'll let you know when I'm due. If you want to share a delivery with it, if you do like it, no hassle if not. But I mean, obviously, if there's a crate of 72, depends whether you like it that much. We can always split it. What was it, about 48 quid for 72 cans or something silly? I don't know. I can't remember. But it's ever so cheap. It's just I might have bought 72 last time. I think I did. I bought 236s last time. Yeah, 72 cans. I think it was 72 cans. But oh, that was out of stock. It was mine's lasted me. I bought mine lockdown. So yeah, I mean, it's lasted me. It's not like it's gone adrift and not lasted. It's certainly lasted. Right, I'm going to test this board before we do anything. So I'm going to get my test bench PSU on there. I just want to make sure it's posting and working before I actually put it back in the case, because they had an issue and I don't want to put a non-working computer together. We will just have a look and get some stuff out and ready. Put that on there so we can see what I'm doing, and we'll get my old trusty 1050 graphics card just so we can see the picture. Was out of stock. It blasted that short out under the chair. It did. Yeah. You remember that one, James? With that water one, that water damage one. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I do. That was. I can't remember why it had water damage. The daughter spilled a bottle of water on it or something, and it just got rid of it. You just saw it blow it out from underneath the chip. The £200 box is in stock. Yeah, £768. What? I don't think I'll be buying that one. Don't think I'll be buying that. I'm sure the one we looked at, Chris, was... I actually looked, because they're a £5 a can, honestly, Chris. I don't know if you use it. They used to be a £5 a can on eBay. That's where I started using it, because it was the cheapest one I could find. And I thought, oh, this is really good. And then I just found direct supply. I will certainly be buying another bulk order when I run out. I've got a few cans left, but I will certainly buying another bulk order when I run out. Okay. But it has lasted me a while, and I've given quite a few cans away as well. I know I gave James one, but I've given to customers as well when they've had issues. I sometimes get people ringing up and saying the keyboard on my laptop has got sticky keys. What you can do? I'll go, yeah, you need a new keyboard. Can you wash them with anything? Only thing you can wash them with is this contact cleaner. I'm happy to give you a can, but you will need a keyboard because it doesn't clean them. And they'll go, oh, I don't want a keyboard. Can I have a can? Yeah, so I'll give them a can. So mine has lasted me a long time, even though I have given a lot away. So power cord and plug in. So are we thinking this may boot? I'm hoping it will boot. Let's put it like that. Flip that off. Flip that down there. We have power to the motherboard, so that's always a good sign. Put a temporary heatsink on, just so we can see the... Might need a little bit more goop on there. Get that on there. Stick that in there, turn that on. Right, if we get a picture, guys, it will appear in the bottom right hand corner of our screen. If we get a picture, can't say whether we will get a picture or not, but if we do get a picture, it will appear there. I'm hoping we do get a BIOS picture at least. So let's just bridge the pins and see. Oh, I need to set power supply on. Oh, power supply is on. Might use my other screwdriver because I think that's a bit pants, that screwdriver for bridging pins. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. May have done more damage than we were thinking. That's it. Is it going? Yes, it is. That's it. Liquid. Let's have a look. Liquid is what damages keyboards in the first place. Why do people think it's a good idea to put more in them? I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because do you know what I found on it? Some customers come to you for advice, but they just don't listen to your advice because they want to do it their own way. Reason why I give it one, because cans are throwawayable for me at £1, or I think I paid about 50p a can when I bought mine. The chances are they'll probably come back to me and say I need a keyboard, and I have had that. But yeah, it gets between membrane and splits membrane open, doesn't it? No matter what. Right, this is just in a low power cycle. Now this is DDR4, so it shouldn't take too long on RAM training. Just going to get a speaker for it. Just see if we've got any beep codes. and stick a speaker in the speaker outlets. Get the speaker in there. Power that off. BIOS. Let's pop the BIOS battery out. It's got one of them little stoppers in, so we'll take the stopper out and get the BIOS battery out, which is it one there. Give it a fighting chance at remembering what it was from a former previous life. I used to be a laptop. Make sure that's reset. Flick it back on. I think these have got a very poorly computer. Oh, that's bridging pins out. I thought I saw smoke then. Yeah, it washes away the tracks on the membrane. Yeah. Again, customers don't always. I've got it turned off, by the way, guys. Customers don't always want to listen to you. Certainly, if you're quoting them, if it's a keyboard where you've got to cut it out and whatnot, they sometimes don't want to listen to you when you say it's going to cost you, I don't know, 150 quid for a CPU stone cold. For a keyboard, they don't want to listen to that. So again, that's what I try and say as well. That's probably what it'll need. I mean, the ones which come to me and say, me O don't work, can you mend it? Yeah, it needs a new keyboard. Well, it's only one letter. Well, I can't do it about it. Just don't use that one letter. But it needs a new keyboard because it's one thing. I've got no fan spin on my power supply. We do have illumination here, which I know is difficult to see there, but you can just make out it's changing colour on camera. CPU is absolutely stone cold. So I'm going to pop BIOS battery back in just to see if it's one of these silly computers which won't turn on without a BIOS battery. And we'll see if we can get fan spin on power supply. Now. We don't have any power at all. These are going to be devastated if I tell them that there's an issue with it. There's a possibility with them 3 standoffs that they left in the computer and tried to power it back up, whether they've damaged something and shorted something. More often than not, there's not anything on the board where they go. It's just absolutely. I'm going to power it down completely. Right. So board is completely off. Flick that back on. No, we've got no power draw at all. Computer's not drawing. See if we've got any voltages. I have fixed a few keyboards yet, but yeah, it needs a new keyboard. Dead CPU can do the same. Yeah, it can. I've got a temporary CPU. I'm just going to test the. I'll get my multimeter on screen, and we'll grab a CPU as well. I've got some AM4s, so at least we've got something to show for that. Yeah, we've got multimeter on screen now, so we're good to go on there. Let me grab my CPU box. We have, let's see if we've got another, I think I've got a 5700, that's a 12, that's AMD, where's my Ryzen's, I know they're out the other day because I was using them, they are down there. So we have a 5500, a 3600 Pro and a 5700G. So we have several to choose from. Let's try the 55, since it's a close comparison to that. Motherboard's off, everything is discharged. Let's see if we've got any life. We don't, so we'll pop the... I would have thought if we had a fault on the CPU, I'm going to blow that out with that. I'm just going to put you on mute. 2 ticks, guys, because this can be a bit noisy. 1 tick. Right, didn't want to deafen you. Just give the holes a good blow out. Put this 5500 in. This is a working CPU. I used it the other day on that one we tested, in fairness, the other day. So we're just looking for a fan spin on there. We have fan spin. So CPU is cold, cold, cold. We have graphics card plugged in, bottom right hand corner of the screen. Cold, cold, cold. Still no. We have fan spin. It could be going through some RAM checking, which is what we'll test. We've got no beep. We do have a speaker plugged in, but we have no beep as yet. CPU is generating a little bit of nothing really. Nothing on there, but is it doing anything? No, it's getting probably warmer from my hand. These, do you know what? It does feel like it's generating something, but not heat. It is getting slightly warm. So it could be just going through some checks. Let's see if we get any picture. We've still got no post beep. Oh, thanks, James. Forgot about that. I keep forgetting about that. Thank you very much for letting people know. Yeah, hit the like or subscribe button, guys. Free of charge to do it. And just think, if you hit like and subscribe, you get to look at this beautiful face every single day. I do try and stream several times a week, gents. Can't always say it's entertaining or interesting. That is not doing anything. So let me see if it'll respond to power button again. If you just keep an eye on fan spin on power supply, which is here. I'm looking for power supply to turn off. I'm just shorting. No, it's not responding to power button there. Just for argument's sake, I will just drain the board and I will just try another CPU in it. Another CPU. I've got a 36, so just in case. I don't think this will be the case, but let's just say it's not wrong BIOS or something like that. I don't honestly think it'll be that, but we will see. So we've got a 3600 in there now. Again, we have life on the board, which you might just be able to see it alternating colours. And we are looking for fan spin on PSU. I will just short it out. We've got fan spin. That went and then stopped straight away. Try that again. Right, so it's going all the time this time. Still cool CPU. Ooh. Now this is doing something a bit different. I've still got no beep. See if we've got any voltages. CPU's cold. Absolutely cold. Put these in right hold, might work wonders. So we should see it in top right hand corner. This should be, there you go. Nothing. Why haven't I got any voltage? Oh, it's because it's not switched. Right, so let me see if I switch, see if we get anything to the CPU power. No. There we are. Oh, we can see it now. I'm just going to change back to the other CPU, which was working a second ago, because that gave me better fan spin. So that might be a BIOS issue now. Reason why it's not giving me any fan spin on the on there. Right. So let's power supply on, bridge it out. Got fan spin on, yeah. So I think the reason why 3600 is not working is because it is a BIOS issue. So that's there. We've got no temperature on there. Bent meat probe, well done. Right, we've got 12 volts on CPU input. Well, there was an issue with it not working first time. I sent him home to do a couple of bits, and it started working. And she put me an amazing review on Google for my business, basically saying, what a nice guy, didn't charge me, told me what I needed to do when I got home, did it, it's now working. Then rang me the day after to say it's not working. So yeah, the just check my 5 volt. Yeah, so we've got up voltages all triggering to board. CPU is getting a little bit, that's probably, I don't know, 15 degrees, that CPU. So it's not hot. So I think CPU is fine because it's generated, and we've tried 3 CPUs, and 2 of them, both 55 and 59, which is customers, is producing the same symptom of it's coming on but not coming on. So I think it is a board issue. So what I'm going to do is power it down, take the GPU out, and just to see, and take some RAM out and start doing that. I would have thought if it was a RAM or GPU issue, we'd get a beep on the speaker. So we're not going to get a picture at all because we've got none of that. So if we take the RAM out completely, and it is recognizing the I/O chip, the EC chipset, we should get a beep saying beep beep beep. RAM's not working. Tom, Grumpy Gibbons here, guys. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, or whatever we are in. I don't know what we're in, but welcome. We're just trying to help this customer out who has a broken computer. Now, I did ask whether he'd attempted to flash the BIOS, and he had said no. My concern is this could also be a BIOS issue. But before I start digging into BIOS issues and things like that, I need to speak with the customer, because I'm only charging them for a rebuild. I need to speak to them and see if they want to go any further with that cost, because they were on a very tight budget. CPU is still actually getting warm now. It's getting warmer now than it was before. It's probably up to about 30 degrees, something like that. And there's no RAM in there. That's bizarre, isn't it? But still no beep. Still no beep to say it's working or not working. Yeah, CPU's probably getting to the point I can't hold that CPU much longer. Yeah, I think it scratched back at board, but they did say it worked. They did say it worked. Right, that CPU's probably around 50 odd degrees at the moment. And it's stabilizing there. So CPU is getting everything. It's doing what it should. Well, I can't hold it any longer now. That's probably raised to 60 plus degrees. Don't really want to put my hand on any further than that. Just had someone come in with that PCI slot 2 and 3 did not work. Pretty sure it's a bad motherboard. Yeah. Oh, is it motherboard? Because it could be CPU on that as well, if it's that, or if you've got a if you've got an SSD in there. I've not looked yet, James. That's me. It's my next job to do that. Yeah, Dave. It could be CPU because they obviously talk to the depending on chipset. It could be chipset, which obviously that, but it could be CPU, or if they've got an SSD in the NVMe slot, because it could be interfering with it. I did one. It could be a bent pin. I did one a couple of weeks ago, and it was the SSD interfering with it. I took SSD out, and they worked. So let me just put some of my CPUs away. And clear a little bit of space. Only trouble when you start doing this, I just put everything got floor down there because the only place I've got store out. So you just end up with a load of stuff on my floor, and I can't move. Take the speaker out, just to pacify me, to make sure that's not just a faulty speaker, because that felt like it came out really lax and slack. I'm just going to plug a different speaker in, just to make sure it's not just a speaker error, because that certainly feels a lot tighter, and just repost it, because I would hate to think that I've done it and it's because I didn't have a tight enough speaker. So let me just plug that back in, see if we've got a fan spin on there. Ah, right, so no SSD. 11, ooh, yeah. You got another CPU to try in it? 12900, yes. At least you've got something you can stick in it then and give it a shot. Right, that should have given me a post beep or something by now, if it was going to, and it's not. CPU is getting warm still, which is a bit weird, right? CPU would get up to hot temperature, but no post beep. Because I would think if the board was that dead, it generally wouldn't even give me a CPU heat signature, or not as hot as it's getting. Sometimes you just get a lukewarm, don't they, and sit around that. But that's getting up to operating temperatures, and it probably got a lot hotter if I had switched it off. So yeah, throw me that a little bit. But anyway, let's get it under the microscope and see what's what. Just turn my microscope on. I weren't expecting to use this today. I thought this was going to be a simple rebuild job, but is anything ever simple? I don't know whether it is. Microscope. If you're wondering the microscope that I'm using, gentlemen, I am using the Elkin 4K one. Really nice microscope. I think somebody the other day were asking which one, or they just bought one. I can't remember who it was now. But yeah, this is the Elkin 4K. I'm just putting the thermal camera on as well. I've got a thermal camera mounted here, as you can probably see, which should, you can see on my finger, it did fall off at the day, so orientation is not exactly spot on now, but that'll give us an idea on heat signatures as well. I'm just going to test around the, have a quick look round here. It's a different socket. Yeah, 12th and 13th, the same one, aren't they? Does that board have lights? Yeah, it's not got it has got diagnostic lights, but none of them are showing either. It's not going into a post at all. I think, I don't know yet. I don't know without commenting. I'm just going to look. They'd left standoffs underneath, Dave, where they'd left extra standoffs under here. So they've got that one in, put an extra one there, put an extra one here, and put an extra one here as well. I think there were 3 which they've got in the wrong place. So they're going to be other places that I look at, which would have been around this sort of, let me move my microscope so it's a bit better view. So it'll be about here, and as we can see, there are areas on here, depending where that was. I can't see any damage, but just if they were shortening some of their pins out and powered it up. Bear me 1 second, guys. Got a phone call coming through. Just need to take this. Sorry, guys. PC repairs. PCDD, you little shit. Sorry, guys. Somebody just wanting, they've got 2 laptops, just wanting them both upgraded to Windows 11. Right, so let's get back onto Microscope. Oh, I've got my volume turned down. Didn't hear that, sorry. I'd got my volume turned down, sorry. I know you were down there. Different socket. He was okay with the 1 working slot. He didn't want to go any further. Oh, that's great. You have anything missing? Is there? I have not looked at that yet. I'm just going to look at the damage first. Didn't even blink. I didn't even blink because I've not got it turned on. I got my volume down. Sorry. I'm trying to remember to do that. You've caught me out far too many times with that. Right, guys. I cannot see. It would have been circa around here because they left a. Oh, there's a slight mark there if you see. I mean, it's really grasping at straws if that's where it was, but it's probably at right area, which is parallel with this. But I mean, there is a possibility they've put it in there and it's earthed on something else, ground on something else. The other one would have been around here. They've got that one in, and then they went and put a bottom one in. So there is some other bits and bobs around here because this would have been probably around that sort of area, but I can't see that. And the final one would have been somewhere around this level as well. I again can't see any damage, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not shorted something or something else they've done has shorted it. Because when I was taking the cabling out, they had got every power plug plugged into his RGB, and also he'd got it plugged into his RGB headers as well. So whether something else on there, I do not know. So I'll pop the CPU out and we'll test for some direct shorts on here. Press that one there, and I need to get in local mode and go to resistance, and we'll go to continuity. We'll go for beeping mode. See if we can get a nice earth. Yeah, we've got a nice earth. Coils. Bags on that one. Bags on that one. Bags on that one. Yeah, that's fine. They're fine. Fine. My multimeter's gone and crashed. Wonderful. OBS is pain in the bark side recently. And it's now decided not to work. So I don't think we'll be able to show multimeter on screen because it's now not working. Just being a silly Please check whether the device is connected. You are connected. You are connected. There we go, it's working again. Stupid thing. Dinner time. We'll watch from the start later. Good luck. Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much, so much. Thank you very much. Windows 11, they are better late than never. Where did they buy the motherboard? I am not sure. I'm hoping it's somewhere where they can possibly send it back. I'll have a conversation. They're lovely, in fairness. I'm hoping exactly the same, because they do stand a chance of being able to send it back. Silly core. Hello, Chris. Hello. Why has that gone back to volts DC? Why am I having such a nightmare with tech? So, well, let's see resistance on here. Bags of resistance on there. Bags of resistance on that one. Oh, a bit warmer today. Oh God, minus 18. I'm complaining. It's 9 degrees in the positive, and I will complain I was cold. I was stood outside at the funeral earlier, waiting. It was a big funeral. About 350 people turned up. I was shivering, physically shivering. I was that cold. Andy calling everyone cars. What? I don't know what that means. You mean he's naming everybody a car? Everyone's a Ford Sierra or Capri, or you're a Bentley? I don't know. Uh, 9 degree besides shorts. Well, I went out this morning. I've worn a really big thick coat, and I was still freezing cold. Absolutely freezing cold. Absolutely freezing. I'm just going right. I think these will be on parallel, these last few. You know, weren't pushing on properly. Mega ohms. Yeah, bags. Bags. Meg ohms. And last one on there, again, is all good. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because the CPU's warming up, I'm going to put it under thermal camera and just see if anything other than CPU's warming up. It's +2 here. Wow. I think you're in the States, aren't you, Dave? You say silly cows, but it sounds like sex cars. So I guess I'm making fun of him. I'll leave him alone. It's his Welsh accent. Silly cows and silly cars. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm just going to plug the power supply back into it and just see if we're going to get any life, and see if we've got any heat signatures anywhere else on the board. That is warming up, because if we can see something getting a bit wham when we, not inject voltage, but when we apply current and voltage to the board with the supply, that might just give us an idea. But I'm hoping it's something simple, but I can't see it being something simple, because I think if it was a capacitor, they're generally blown with age related rather than that. So we will see. I'll move around with microscope actually, because I've got a thermal camera on microscope, so that might be a better call. So let's get on here and let's put Thermal Master PC camera on there. So this is the one off the microscope, as you can see. That's the CPU we're looking at now. So we'll just give the computer a little bit of juice. Juice. And we'll see if we can get the computer switching on. Let's see if we've got any power on. We're looking for a... Right, we've got it powering on. Plug the speaker in just in case it wants to come to life. So it's pointed at CPU at the moment, is the camera. We will have a skim around with the camera and just see if anything else comes back to line. I'm using C, I am in US. Ah, that's all right then. At least I understand that. Hello, Maddie. Rick RD250. Hello. Hello, Maddie. She is in the background if you do want to say hello to Maddie. She's not had a shout out on camera for a while. In fairness, there's a reason why. Because she's lazy. No, she's not. Let's do it onto this one here. And we will give Maddie... She's laid down there asleep. Who is it? Here. Up. Right, say hello to your adoring fans. There we go. She's upside down. Not really. She's not Australian. She's asleep on floor at the moment. Keep an eye on place, aren't you? Yes. They're saying hello to you. Saying hello to you. Yes, yes, yes. Speak. 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 Yeah, that's a good girl. Right, go lay down. Come on. Right, you've had your 15 minutes of fame. They come to watch me, not you. Well, I doubt it. They'll probably come to watch you more. Right, watch your paws. There's a good girl. Right, CPU is getting wham. It's +2. It's, do you know what? It's probably about 7 to 9 degrees outside, I would have thought. My daughter makes fun of me because I made my phone Euro. Oh, with the, you mean with the C and whatnot, do you mean? Oh, no, with Fahrenheit. They know they use C, don't they? I'm assuming you're getting 3.3 on the Switch bin. Yep, getting 3.3 and 5. We've got 3.3, we've got 5. I'm going to test the coils in a minute. She's Australian Hound. No, she's a Labradoodle. She's a Labradoodle. She's a Labradoodle cross, but she's a brilliant dog. Brilliant dog. So we can see CPU is getting wham. That's really hot now. So we will quickly skim around the rest of the board, just to make sure there's nothing really lighting up. Please hit like and subscribe. Has somebody just hit like and subscribe? Thank you for subscribing. Oh, Go Beep! Go Beep! Thank you so much, Go Beep, for your subscription. Ouch, that's hot. Really do. Ouch, that's really hot. Sorry, I'm burning myself touching that. Really do appreciate your subscription. I'm just going to have to put a cooler on there, guys, because that is getting up to probably 70, 80 degrees now, that. I'm going to stick a quick cooler on there. Thank you very much for your subscription, Go Beep. That is the first time I saw it come through on there, and it said, please click like and subscribe. I must have the wrong message on there, but thank you so much for that. Gosh, she's upside down. I didn't get that. That's me being a bit slow, that, Dave. Sorry, Dave. That's me definitely being a bit slow. Right, so we've got 2 heat spots here. I'll get the other thermal camera out if needed. Got a little tiny heat spot there and a little tiny heat spot here. Now, in fairness, this is similar area to where we had the... that's the Nuvatron chip just there. That one there is looks like a power regulator, probably for the Wi-Fi, onboard Wi-Fi, which is here. That one is another power regulator chip, which is not sure what that one's for. That could be powering one of the other PCI adapters. So we'll just have another quick look around board. Yeah, I missed that one completely, Dave. I'm not the smartest tool. Chipset down here, which is generating some nice heat. So chipset's getting wham, as it should. Let me see if there's anything else glowing like a Christmas tree, and there's nothing around there. We might need my better thermal camera, because I cannot see anything apart from them. So let's get the expensive one booted up. And we will swap over to the one I'm using, by the way, guys, if you're just curious. I've got it mounted, you both see on one of these shots here. It's mounted to the underneath of my microscope, which you can see on the top section up there. That's microscope. This is obviously face cam, and then we've got overhead cam here, and then thermal camera on there. So I've got it mounted on there, and that's the Thermal Master P1. I really do like that camera. It's about $120, something like that. If you look in my description, there's actually a 10% discount voucher in there. A full disclosure, guys, if you buy one with that 10% discount voucher, they sling me about $4. It's never going to make me rich, and I don't do it to be rich. It was just, I took it because if anybody wants to buy one, at least they've got a working chance at getting one. But it knocks 10% off any of the Thermal Master range. So even if you buy an expensive one at $400, you can get 10% discount on it with that code. So yeah, don't think it's only for P1, but the P1 I do like. I do like that one. Right, so we flick on to this one. This one is a different camera. This one, I just need to activate it on here. Microscope, thermal camera, because for some reason this one doesn't like turning on. And that should turn on. This is the Unity Pro 260. Bit better resolution than the other one. Just means I can get up close and personal and see what's what a little bit easier when I'm not confined. So I don't think... What's that getting hot there? I think there's something on the other side of the board there getting hot, because I mean, it's only 31 degrees. It's not mega hot. I think that's okay. That one's okay. That one just don't look quite right. That's what I'm pointing to is. I know that's that. That's nice and uniform. I don't think it's that. And then the other thing was the chipset. Got a couple of MOSFETs down here, but again, they're not getting red hot. But we'll test them under the... I don't think this is going to be an issue power issue on this, because... Yeah, the CPU's getting wham. I've got two standalone cameras. The one on the what I'm using, what you can currently see, is a standalone. You'll see it on the other thing. That's a Unity Pro on here. It just gives me a bit better resolution, so I can move around a little bit better on there. The P1 on the microscope on that one. If you are looking at one, this is the P1. I've got it mounted a lot higher up. Obviously, this is about, I don't know, about 40 centimeters off the desk, so it gives me a wider angle. And I just thought it'd be nice for when I'm on microscope view that we've got a thermal image camera there as I'm moving around. So this one gives me the overall perspective, but when I'm going to zoom in, I use the that one, which you can see on there. So I use two different ones. But the P1, which is mounted under here, I've just got it mounted directly under the thing with some sticky pads. Excuse me. So it gives me an idea when I'm looking round. Oh, there's a hot spot there, and I can investigate it further. But the P1 is, I think they've got a sale on at the moment. I mean, you guys have a look. Got a sale on, but there is a 10% discount voucher in description of my video if anybody wants one. And they do sling me about $4 for that. So yeah. Back onto that. So I think these MOSFETs are fine. They should be getting hot, and there's nothing else. There's a MOSFET down here getting hot, or something else getting hot down there. There's a coil. That'll be another. Now is that a? No, that's another little transistor. But again, there's nothing else getting majorly. Turn my macro lens off. Nothing getting particularly burning red hot. The CPU is up to CPU's actually cooled down quite a lot because I've had cooler on it, so it has stole quite a bit of heat from it. But CPU, we're probably only getting to about 50 to 60 degrees anyway. Right, let's check those MOSFETs, make sure neither of them are shorted. Just going to get power supply disconnected, and I'll just check those. Just give me a bit of room on here. What is the wire coming out of it? Out of that one. Out of that one. You're referring to coming out of that one? That is just my USB cable, so I can display it. It's so I can OBS it. That's the only thing. Plus it charges. It's USB charging. So that's the. You can use it standalone. It has got a as you can see. And it's got a macro lens with it as well. This is about $400 or $500. Yeah, it displays on PC too. It records, does a few bits and bobs. Does this? I've had this quite a few years now. I say about commands aren't working. Oh no! Exclamation CMD should give you a list of them. I have turned some of them on to concurrent, so because I was trying to stop people putting them all up at once. So that could be why they're not working, Pitco. Sorry, but afternoon, Pitco. Seems like you have a missing component. That's my guess. Yeah, could have knocked something off. Nice price, and it shows the hotspots too. You can actually, do you know what I like about the Thermal Master one? I know I bleat on about this, but I really do like that Thermal Master camera. You can put different colour palettes on a lot easier. So you can have one which shows as black and white until it hits a hotspot and it shines up red instantly, red and green. So it's all black and white apart from the hotspot, which is bright red. And I find that brilliant. It's really easy to look at a board and just look at something that's bright red rather than oranges and yellows and reds.
PCDD, little shit.
There we go. Sparta's found him. That's one which plugs into cell phones as well. That's the one on the microscope. What I was telling you about, Thermal Master P1, is plugged straight into your telephone as well. Plug straight in, and it's on within about 4 or 5 seconds of plugging it in. So we've got Pitco in as well. So so there we go. There we go. But yeah, if there's any question you need answering, I'll try and answer my best question. I'm not a proficionado on them, but I do like that P1 for an affordable camera. I think when I looked the other day, they had a 20% off plus my 10%. Works out a good deal for it. But yeah. But yeah, that's a cell phone one or USB-C basically, so it'll plug into anything with USB-C. So that's either PC or iOS or Android on there. Can they work right? Yeah, I've got mine just plugged into PC. It's stuck on, but I'll try and unstick it to show you. Oh, damn. I can't unstick it. Sorry. Because it's stuck on really well. But yeah, that one, as you can see there, is basically one for phones as well, and it just sticks straight into the bottom of the phone. It is only tiny. I'll show you in case it comes in. That's the, can't really see, but that's the foam insert. So you can see it compared to the finger. They're not big things. They just pop straight into the bottom with USB-C. I can't show you any better than that because I haven't got a, it's stuck to the bottom of the microscope now. But yeah, plug straight in, download software, and away you go. 4 or 5 seconds later, it's on screen. It's the similar one what people like Nano use. I think Soren uses it. He mounts this to the microscope as well. Northwest Repairs use it, or similar ones. Not exactly that one. They use similar ones to it, and they're all PC or phone compatible. So yeah. Don't you use to have a microscope? Didn't you use to have one? I've just put it on microphone scan, Pitco. Just put it back on microscope stand so you can see. Put that on at the weekend. Because I was using it as a standalone thing and I just thought I'm replicating what I'm doing.
Kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
I wonder why that came up when I did that. Don't know why Soft Kitty came up then. I was duplicating it using my handheld one of that. The trouble with this, resolution is better. I won't take it away from that. Resolution is better on this. But it's just big and bulky. And other than is just so small and compact. And for 99% of my jobs, it does it. And it's, I don't know, a quarter at price of that. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Even if you upgrade it to P2, which is better than the P1, which is what I've got mounted, it's still on par with that, but still that small form factor. So, yeah, I don't know. Read your own reviews, guys, but I really love it, right, guys, so I'm thinking on this, they have either knocked something off or damaged something. We've got no...
You're a lunatic. Kitty, warm kitty, little...
Cameras.
You're a lunatic. Kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
I weren't doing that before. Why is all now decided to play a blinking tune when I click on it? OBS. Do not buy OBS. It's a pain in the bark side. There we go. 2 things were turned on. There you go, not working now. Can you hear that rattling? Oh, well, that water fell out. Fell on the floor, that. No idea what that was. But something's just fallen out. What the hell fell out? Oh. Plastic USB stopper. How long? No idea where that's come from or how long that has been in there, but that was clearly in there. Yeah, so we've got us 5 volt, and 3 volts and 12 volt. They're all present on the board. I'm going to test them MOSFETs to see if they've shorted. Let's go under the microscope and we will test a MOSFET. Guys, if anybody's sat in chat, please consider hitting that like button for me. It means so much to me. And if you do want to see more useless stuff which I present, I generally stream several times a week, if I possibly can, mainly PC and laptop repairs or attempted repairs, and it's usually a varying mix from the mundane fitting screens to more in-depth stuff like this. Can't say I know everything because I do not, but I do try my best. And we have a brilliant chat and a brilliant community, so consider hitting the like button, guys, if you so wish. So I'm just going to check, make sure these haven't shorted. I don't think they will have done. No, that's fine. No, that one's fine. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into that one. Nope. It's a tricky one because I think their best course of action is going to be sending this straight back because I've only had it a week or so. So I would say rather than me even spending any time on repair, I would probably say send it back and get another one. Because they probably did buy it from Amazon. If that's the case, we all know that they're going to get a replacement pretty easily and pretty quick. But which stated how much thermal compound they got over the place, I am unsure whether they might have done other damage to it. Is that thermal compound? That's thermal compound. You can just see. Yeah, so I think that's annoying really more than anything else, because now I've got a pile of bits on the floor which I cannot put back into another computer because of that. A little bit of rattling is totally don't worry about it. Yeah, it's just when bits fall out like that. It looks like a. Do you know what I think that's off? I think that's off their wiring for their RGB or something like that. I think with that sort of thing, we use them thermal cams for small.
PCDD, little shit.
Sergio, hello. Happy New Year. I don't think I've spoken to you since New Year, so Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah, that definitely didn't sound right that close, but it did fall out, so we were good with that. I think the sort of thing to use on thermal cams for small form factor is better in a way and ease of use. Yeah, it is, just to try and get it in and out. And with limited space as well. If I've got a big heatsink sat on here and I'm trying to get this thing around a heatsink, you can't. You just can't get it round. It's just not practical. Where that small one, at least you can get your phone into better places, and you can also show an overhead camera if you don't want to show it on Streamlabs. So to some degree, it is better. Yeah, Happy New Year on that one. Right, guys, I am just going to call it quits on this one, mainly because I need to cook some tea. I've not even eaten breakfast. Breakfast is in the microwave. I still not even had a chance to eat my breakfast. So, Grass Puddle, hello, Grass. Is everyone coming in now? Oh, guys, I am just wrapping up for the evening. Sorry, guys. I were only going to stream for an hour today, and just had a puzzling one with this one.
PCDD, you little shit.
I am, without any shadow of a doubt, a little shit. Any shadow of that. Yeah, this one, just let you know where we are with this, guys, because I'll pick this up on another stream. I will pick this up on another stream if anybody is wondering there. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button. But this one was one they built themselves, and it's now not working. But they'd left. They put an extra standoff under here, which obviously doesn't go. Another one which sat somewhere around here underneath the chipset, and then one they'd left that one in, but put another one under here. So they got 3 standoffs in the wrong place, and the board did light up and then stopped lighting up. So I think they've probably blown something. So I have about 4 or 5 customers I need to ring now. So I'm going to make a few phone calls and ring some customers, which you guys don't really want to see. And obviously for obvious reasons, I cannot play on air. But yeah, I'm not streaming tomorrow. I have got quite a bit on tomorrow, personal wise. I've got that's what I'm thinking. I've took the standoffs off. They're not even all the same standoffs, close look. They were different standoffs as well. So I think 2 original, 1 non-original. So they'd obviously gone hunting for standoffs to do it as well. So yeah. But yeah, I'm not streaming tomorrow, guys. I might stream on Wednesday. I'm not working tomorrow. I've got a hospital appointment on my knee. So I'm open to get that done. But we do have a big pile of parts on the floor, which has all come out of this computer here. And the one what you can just see, just sticking its nose out there, is the one what we did first on stream, and then the laptop is on the shelf up there. So yeah, I do need to speak to customers, which is the bit what takes the time, and have a conversation with them. So yeah, consider smashing the like, guys. Consider hitting subscribe if you want to catch up. And I thank you all very much for. You've already bought one, huh? What, you bought one today or before? Lots of exposed stuff in the back. Yeah, it's far too much. We've gone through board where there possibly was. There is a slight mark in here, but the issue what we had was where it was. There's all these other pins. So I think they're probably short of something on there. So just right now, oh, wonderful, wonderful. As long as you've saved some money and you've used that code, that's main thing. Would love to see that you've done that. So let me know how you get on with it. Please let us know when it turns up. See if it's good as you can. Right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for letting me share your afternoon. Only a quick stream today, just under 3 hours, 3/4 hours. I will catch up with everybody either in other people's chats over the next couple of days or on one of my streams, probably Wednesday. I would have thought. My dog has come back to see me because she needs some dinner, and she's going, it's dinner time, Dad. I'm going to feed her, feed me, and we will catch up soon. Thanks again, guys. Take it steady. Really enjoyed it. See you later.